What's up, everybody? Appreciate you checking out Urban Legendz podcast, where we interview living legends and people making legendary moves. But yo, I just got on Patreon. That's right, Justin Hires is officially on Patreon. Man, I'm showing y'all everything. Exclusive content, behind the scenes footage of the podcast, behind the scene footage of me at the music studio, behind the scene footage of me and my friends and my family life. It's crazy. This is exclusive footage and content you're not gonna find on any other site. It's only available on Patreon. Uncensored, unfiltered, pure comedy gold. Patreon, Justin Hires. Now, check out the latest episode of Urban Legendz podcast. I want to say thank you for doing this. This is my assistant, Lee.
What's going on, my man? It's a pleasure.
All right. If you can see, I got a sign from Walmart just for you. I said, let me go ahead.
I saw that right off the bat. I'm like, that's designer shit right there.
Yeah.
I went jeans. You got jeans. You know what I mean?
I ordered this off of Craigslist. I'm the last nigga still using Craigslist.
No, that makes two of us. You got the Hardaway beard, man. Shit.
I ate a lot of fruits and berries,
Yeah, keep it shiny.
That ain't all he eat. So
all of us.
Straight up.
That note, I'm out.
All of us, I'm right here. You got a poet. That is your shirt.
You say that again?
Your shirt.
Spell House.
Okay.
Yeah, Spellman in Morehouse.
Right. I get it.
Yeah, I graduated from Clark Atlanta University.
Woo! You right up in there, boy.
Yeah.
Right up in there, man. I used to have one of them sweatsuits, those hoodies from Clark that I wore in Strictly Business.
Hey, well, I wanted to talk about that. Hold on, lift your camera up just a little bit, because some of your head is. There we go. Yeah, we gotta get the hat in there.
Okay. Yeah, man.
Yeah, and so, man, first of all, I just want to say welcome to Urban Legendz podcast. We got the incredible Tommy Davidson with us today. And I want you to know the reason I created this podcast is because I wanted to celebrate people that I consider living legends and people that I feel like are making legendary moves.
Wow.
You're somebody who, throughout my career, I'm a stand-up comedian. I know you probably have no idea who I am. I'm like, I'm on a CBS show. I'm on MacGyver on CBS.
Really?
Yeah. So, yeah, no, seriously.
Wow.
Yeah. So
the world's turning fast, So it's like to keep up with the new people coming in. I sometimes they get past.
So I was like, for you to do this, I want to give a salute to your wife. I let her know that I appreciate her tremendously for setting this up. But yeah, I've been doing stand-up comedy for 13 years. I tour on the road. I'm a series regular. They rebooted MacGyver. We going into our fifth season.
You.
Thanks, man. But
where you live at? Atlanta?
I'm in Atlanta right now. We film MacGyver in Atlanta. Okay. And I also have some rental property out here. So I rent it out to you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to use my money wisely. But I'm originally from St. Petersburg, Florida.
Okay.
And I went to college in Atlanta, graduated from Clark Atlanta. Then I moved to LA. And so I know. And so I still got a place in LA too.
Oh, good, man. It sounds like you're very enterprising, man. I love that.
Exactly, man. And so part of the podcast, I wanted to, start a podcast. First, I've been wanting to do this for 2 years, but I've been busy filming, and I finally had time during the break. And when I thought of the idea for this podcast, you were one of the quintessential people that I knew I wanted to have on this.
Oh, okay.
And I mean that, man. You're somebody as a comedian. When I first got to Los Angeles, when I first started doing stand-up, everybody was like, "You the next Tommy Davidson. You like Tommy Davidson." Because I was so physical and I'm moving all around, you know. Exactly. And everybody's like, "You like Tommy Davidson." I had a little body. I had a petite body.
So we catch up then on that one.
Oh, absolutely. Matter of fact, and I'm jumping ahead, but even when they were talking about doing the In Living Color reboot.
Right. Were you up for that?
I was up for that.
Let me grab my book real quick. Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
2 seconds. Ain't gonna take but a second. I just want to make sure I got it in the frame.
Oh, absolutely. Living in Color.
Yeah, we worked on that.
Living in Color, absolutely.
Worked on that there.
Yeah. Boy. And we're gonna talk about that too.
That there.
Hey, man. So but yeah, I remember Marlon Wayans. I'm cool with Marlon Wayans. And okay. Marlon, he was like, we looking for our next Tommy Davidson. You know what I'm saying? We looking for our Tommy Davidson character.
Right. It's funny to hear that.
Absolutely, man. So you a legend. This is to give you your flowers. Talk about your journey in Hollywood, but also celebrate all the tremendous accomplishments that you have done in your career. So let's get into it. First of all, Tommy Davidson, In Living Color, Booty Call, The Proud Family, Woo, Strictly Business, Black Dynamite, Bamboozled in your book, Living in Color. This man is a living legend for sure. First of all, doing my research on you, I had no idea that you were adopted by a Caucasian family. Speak on that a little bit. I know you talked about it on some other platform, but just briefly, just kind of speak on that, because I think that's an incredible tale.
Yeah, it's what forced me into who I am now, my circumstances. So when I was abandoned in the trash as an infant. So my mom found me randomly, who raised me. She happened to be in Mississippi in 1966. And so she had worked with my real mother previous year, immunizing children and what. So they came back down there, her and her husband, came back down to Mississippi to do some more work. But my mom had left. So they said, we think she left her youngest baby at this house. So my mother, being nosy as she is, went to see this house. It was kids doing drugs. It was an empty house, dilapidated. So when she was walking out, there was a pile of trash on the side of the house. And she said, something told her, look under the tire. There was a tire on top of it. When she moved the tire, she saw my foot.
Wow.
And she dug the trash away, and I was there. Unconscious, damn near dead, contusions in my skull, starved. So she took me to the hospital. 60 days, I lived. And I moved from there to Fort Collins, Colorado, and grew up in Laramie, Wyoming. So it's white cowboy land.
Right.
And I don't know.
Out there with Kanye at right now.
Yeah. I don't know nothing about no black.
So having a Caucasian family, how do you feel like, was there anything culturally that you felt like was different, or did you not notice anything growing up in that type of a household?
I didn't notice anything because I got so much love from my family, and me and my brother and my sister were really, really close, and my mother really close. My family was really close, and black and white, I didn't know anything about it, and neither did they really. They were the adults, so they knew, but I was a kid, so I got so much love, and my family is so cool as far as race is concerned and politics is concerned, that I never really had to deal with it until.
I'm about to say, when did the until happen, though?
I moved to Washington, D.C. I moved to Washington, D.C. in 1968 when King got shot during the riots.
Wow.
It was a rude awakening from the start. As soon as I got there, the black kids beat our ass every day. It was calling my sister and my brother white cracker.
Wait a minute, the black kids were beating your siblings' ass?
And mine.
And yours, damn.
Every day, because they were like white cracker. White cracker this, white cracker. And they calling me white cracker lover. So I went home to my mom, and I'm like, why are they saying I like white crackers? I like graham crackers.
Well, me too.
I'm a kid. You know what I mean? So she's explained to me, people your color, call people our color that. They don't like them. And I said, well, what color are you? She said, we're white. And I was like, no, you're peach. Because I learned my colors from the crayons. And I'm brown. Crayons,
Absolutely.
And she's like, no, but that's not how we see it. So I thought that was stupid. Because you're hating each other for a color that you ain't really even anyway.
Absolutely. Think on that.
Yeah. So we moved to the suburbs to get out of that. That's the first time I heard the word nigger. Because grown white men were chasing me home. I'd be on my bike or whatever, and truck pull over. Men chasing me, barely getting in the house. Kill the nigger. So I went to my mother, who are these niggas? We got to stay away from them.
Right. They're dangerous.
Yeah. She said, that's what people your color, our color call people your color when they don't like them. So at that point in my life, at 6 years old, my whole world got turned upside down over color. Because I thought whatever we were, I was a brown one. From my kid perception, because I grew up on farms and out west, so you can have a horse that can be a black horse, but I have a colt that could be brown.
Right.
Or a dog would have puppies. The dog could be like a white dog, it'd have black puppy, gray puppy, So I thought that I was a brown one of us, whatever we were, which is true, actually.
Right.
And so my identity kind of started taking shape because we moved to us. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's all good.
So we moved to the suburb of Washington, D.C.
But people love calling when they know you're doing some shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean? They ain't got no money in mind.
Right.
No money in mind. They ain't no even any money ain't involved.
Right. That'd be the worst.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't even calling by no important shit.
Ain't even a pizza. So that's where I grew up, right on the DC line. The DC line, so it's suburb and city at the same time. And so
I'm listening. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
When did the comedy come into play then? Dealing, because I can only imagine you dealing with the racism once you moved in to DC and started experiencing that. When did the comedy kick in? Was it a defense mechanism? Were you always funny? How did that come about?
I was always funny, but saw things in a certain way. Like when I was little, before I even got to DC, I would say something at the table during the holidays or whatever, everybody just start laughing. So I felt bad, actually, because I went to my mom and said, why does everybody laugh at me? She said, they're not laughing at you. She explained something. She said, you got a way of putting things that makes people so happy so fast, they got to laugh first.
Wow.
You see? And so I always was funny, but not meaning to be. I just loved, life. I just love entertainment, Partridge Family, Brady Bunch, Disney. I just was like commercials, music. I already had that. I already had it in me.
Absolutely.
And I was a natural singer when I was a kid.
What? Yeah, I wanted to talk about that. Did you ever try to put out like an album, like a R&B album, anything like that? Because if you did, I didn't hear it. But
I put out. I'm from DC, so I put out a go-go cut. Yeah, it's hot.
Let me tell you something, man. You are one of the most talented guys in show business, period. I always look at you like a phenomenal comedian, comedic actor, singer. So you was always somebody that I revered coming up as a comedian because of all the things that you were able to do.
Right.
Now I read that the first time you did stand-up was at a strip club. Is this true?
Yeah.
How did you hear about this comedy night?
My best friend Howard, I just got a job as an assistant chef at the Ramada. And I called him bragging about my job. And he said, man, you about the stupidest motherfucker I ever met. Because if I was you, I'd be in Hollywood. I would be in movies. I would be doing all this. And I was like, what are you talking about? He said, you can be like Eddie Murphy or better. Because he grew up with me and he knew all the stuff that I had in me. So he kept pressing it. He finally said, I got somewhere for you to perform at the strip club I work at. And it was the worst one ever. It was the worst strip club ever. And I finally go there. It's first time we went to go, it's February, cold as hell. Boom, my radiator busted my little Datsun B210, right? So he got on the bus, said, I'll be back next week, fix that. So we drove down there the next week. I get there and the manager's standing there, in the lobby or whatever. And he said, this is the one I was telling you about. So the manager told me, you got 5 minutes, go, So I turned to Howard. I said, what am I supposed to do? He said, nigga, I don't care what you do, just say something. Damn. And from the first thing I said, I'm sitting here with you.
That's crazy. Do you remember the first thing you said? Or is it blur?
Yeah. Yeah, I was just told the truth. I said, my mom, we had a lot of roaches. So my mom said, if you clean the damn kitchen good enough, we don't have no roaches. So
Straight
she
up.
made us stay in the house Saturday and Sunday all day cleaning the kitchen. And she was right. We didn't have no more roaches. But they started eating our couch.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because when we went to watch cartoons, went to watch cartoons coming home from school, we heard all this little ruckus and we looked under the pillows in the couch.
Aw.
They just moved.
They're like, we know where to go. We know where Crumb's
yeah.
at.
So that was the laugh. And then I could sing and do all these impressions. You know, I
When,
could. It was
when
already
did you know your gift of doing impersonations? When did that come along?
right about probably about. I think I was 12. You know, and I was doing not makeup. I could do anybody. You know, Lou Rawls. You know, you'll never find. I could do Stevie Wonder. You know, this girl makes it she's so fine. She changed. You know, so Michael Jackson, all that. So I was doing Al Jarreau. She was like, shut up. Yeah. And then she looked on the TV a couple of days later, and then he was on TV.
Wow.
And she said, do that again. She said, you got something. That's when I knew. You know, I didn't know how to harness it. It was just something that I just did.
So when you did that show at the strip club and you like, oh shit, I got something. Like these people are laughing.
Mm-hmm.
What then was the next step to make you start taking it professionally? Like, did you quit your job at the Ramada? Did you start doing gigs and you started getting some money that you was like, yo, I really think I could make a living at it. What was that? What was that moment?
It evolved. It was like I became so good at that club, people started hearing about me.
Wow.
So show promoters started calling the club and saying, who is this guy everybody talking about? So they started putting me on shows with like Evelyn Champagne King and Freddie Jackson. Then I started doing talent shows in DC and crushed everybody. It was Martin, all of, you know, crushed.
And they
So,
wait a minute, Martin Lawrence, who you speaking of, right? Because he's from DC. Was
yeah.
he against you on the same talent shows?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to talk about, but that's actually something I want to talk about because I read that you won a competition at the Apollo.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
And that's what made you then move to North Hollywood.
Yes, because I had, you know, got to the final round of that. I really wanted, but they tricked it. You know, it came down to the audience. So finally, the dude said, "So who do you want? Tommy Davidson from Washington D.C. or this guy from New York City?" So
that'd be the worst. That'd be the worst.
Yeah, kind of a setup as far as I was concerned. But
Right.
I had already put my foot in his ass and everybody else, so I wasn't worried about it. But I met my manager, who became my manager. He was an attorney. And he walked up to me, man. He was like, man, I've never seen nothing like you. You are off the chain. We didn't say that back then.
Right.
But
you so is something good. I can't even think of no old ass term right now.
Yeah. You're fresh or whatever.
Right.
So he said, I tell you what, if I pay for a plane ticket for you to go to LA, look at that boy.
Hey, the young Tommy.
Yeah, look at that mustache. What is that? So yeah, you see that, boy. That was the front of Entertainment Weekly.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old were you in that photo?
I think I was about 22, 20, 21.
The cover of Entertainment Weekly at 21.
Yeah.
Man,
Exactly.
so you moved to North Hollywood with your so he offered you that. He said
Burbank. Yeah.
that's where I moved to first, Burbank.
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. So he said, if I buy you this plane ticket, will you go to LA
and do comedy for a week? He said, if it goes good, I want to manage you. Is that cool? I said, okay, cool. Free trip to LA, and crushed everything walking. Eddie Murphy, everybody, Damon, all of them. There's this one club in LA called the Comedy Theater, and that was the joint.
That was the
Everybody,
legendary club.
everybody's there. Robert Townsend, Damon, Keenan, all the people that we saw as, and then Robin Harris and the whole nine. Crushed. Standing ovation, back to back, the whole 9 yards. So I said, yeah, let's do it. So we went back. We got back to our jobs, saved about 2 months' money so that we can have 2 months' rent when we got out there. Drove his Nissan Sentra all the way across, not knowing nobody. Moved to Burbank, rented that apartment. We had 60 days to get a job. You know what I mean? And we did. I delivered mail downtown. I did all kind of stuff. But the key to it was I was doing clubs every single night.
Absolutely.
Busting it down and taking names, you know, but that's when I started seeing how the systematic racism in Hollywood was then. Because I would kill in all the clubs, but then they would say, you're not what we're looking for.
Yeah. What was that like at the store? Did you showcase for Mitzi Shore?
Yeah, yep, couldn't get in. Comedy Store, Ice House, all of them. Laugh Factory. I would do well, kill them. And they say, well, you're not what we're looking for. You know?
And this was pre-Def Comedy Jam, right?
This is way pre-Def Comedy Jam. Way pre-Def Comedy.
So they didn't even know what to do with your energy.
Well, it was just like...
And they were racist.
It was just like, you know, this is the corny white boy, so what are you looking for? You know, we're not looking, you know, you're not what we're looking for. Well, what are you looking for? Because I'm funny. You see what I'm saying? And ironically, you want to hear something, boy?
Yeah.
Ironically, the ones that were doing that and put me down on the list and not let me get on stage, they're still in the same club.
Wow.
They're still doing that same thing.
Wow.
If they're still doing it.
If they, this the question I want to ask. So when you came out to LA and you started smoking these stages, and Eddie and Damon and Robin Harris, they seen you killing. What was their reaction to you? Was it welcoming, or was they like, "Hey, wait a minute, this nigga too funny"? Like, what?
It was hard for me to gauge, but it was like they were awestruck, like they didn't know, like, and I was just meeting them for the first, so I was all enamored, like, wow, but I had no idea how they were looking at me. But they were like, I'm sure they were like, where the hell did this come from? I was like a comet. And my weaponry, you couldn't touch it. Everybody else was doing karate. I was doing kung fu. Right. I was doing impressions. I was doing comedy, storytelling. I moved a lot. I mean, I had an understanding of what I was doing, had flow, you know, and was hungry. And killed.
People underestimate that the hunger.
Yeah, killed on the Comedy Act Theater, come to own it. You know what I mean? I was one of those people that came around and got the juicy spot. You know, on in Martin too. You know, there was these comics that started sticking. David Allen Greer, me, Martin started sticking.
Is it true y'all lived in the same building, you and Martin?
For sure.
That's crazy.
For sure. I mean, when he moved out here, he got a TV show. And it was
what's happening now?
Yeah. And I just moved out here. So we basically moved at the same time. So we ended up in the same building, you know, and he went his way and but we were friends, you know, so we did stand up at different clubs and stuff like that, but we were on a separate trajectory too.
Absolutely. Yeah, did you know, I mean, you might have known this. Did you know it was between you and Martin for In Living Color?
No, because he was out. The people that made it. You see?
Right.
So he was on the list of all the people that didn't get it.
Right.
You see? So years later, after In Living Color, he got Martin.
Right.
Cool. You see, they go, my man.
Yeah. Straight up.
Man right there.
So
you know?
so how did you, because even before we get to In Living Color, you did Kid and Play Funhouse.
Woo! That's was one of the first things that me and Martin did together.
Right. How did that come about, and how did you link up with Kid and Play?
Well, they were the hottest, and Martin did the movie. See? So Martin did the movie. I was Martin's boy. And so it was like Kid and Play and Martin and Tommy. So when they did the next hit song, I think it was Funhouse, the party at the Funhouse.
Classic.
So they had me play the devil and him play the angel. And Kid was going to jump off the roof, and we talked him out of it. LL was in the video. Everybody was in the video. It was hot. And that's when we started exploding on the scene. And that's my clique started being, those were my friends. And that was my connect. You see what I'm saying? Although I was still working at the deli, I was still taking, my money and paying my rent, and when $35 a night here, $60 here, the second that my check was the same amount as what I was getting, I quit. It was that simple. And I didn't look back either.
Hey, look at that. Hey, man.
Boy, your boy is good. Good. Your boy. You got to give me your email and send me some of that stuff.
Hey, listen, I'm just trying to keep my lights on. I don't want to get fired. It's a pandemic going on.
Look at that.
Hey, man, we ain't messing around.
Beard shaved down and everything. Got the pastor beard.
Hey, so let's talk about In Living Color. How the legendary show. Let me tell you how long Living Color was though. I remember my parents had me, that was past my bedtime. And me and my brother, because it came on I think at like 9 o'clock or something. And so me and my brother used to have to fake like we sleep. And then once my parents, that's crazy. we was like, I think she sleep. So they go in that room, really? We back up, turning on the TV, watching In Living Color.
Really? So y'all must have been like around about 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, yeah. That's right. Yep. And so look at that.
Here we go.
Look at that. The colors. Man. So how did you hear about that audition?
Man.
We will. We'll send you all this.
Okay.
How did you hear about that audition? And do you remember your audition?
Yeah, I do. I had actually been the hottest thing in town at a point. So what happened was I finally got in the Comedy Store after 3 years, and they put me on the main room with Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor. So that was my night coming out. And I thought I was opening for him, but Mitzi had hooked it up where no. Eddie goes on, you go on, and Pryor goes on. Then Pryor goes on, you go on, and Eddie goes on for Saturday and Friday night. And we all had a half an hour. Bam, smoked it. Like coming down the middle, lefty. Bam. I mean, wham, because by this time, I'm hungry. I'm eating minute rice, and sizzling and Wonder Bread, and if I had enough quarters to play the video games and get a pizza on the weekend, that was something. You see, so I was hungry. And so I killed. And I knew that I was at a point where it was going to go up from there because Richard Pryor, who I never met before, came over into the little closet. See, they had the good dressing room.
Yeah.
Chick, food. We was in like a little closet.
Mm-hmm.
He walked back there. After the weekend, he looked me up and down. He shook his head. He said, "You's a funny motherfucker," and walked off.
Woo.
And I called my mother. I was like, "Mom, guess what happened?" She was like, "I told you not to leave," because I wanted to leave, because it's getting hard.
Because you were out there for 3 years prior to this.
Yeah, and having a job already. I had a job, apartment, 2 little cars. You crazy? I had my little Celica GT and my Datsun B210. And I was out here catching the bus. You see? So it was tough because I did a pilot with Eddie Murphy.
You did a pilot with Eddie Murphy?
With Eddie Murphy's company, Coming to America. I was his little brother.
That's crazy. I never heard about that pilot. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Oh, I'm gonna check that out.
Good too. And also, I had all these offers for Murphy Brown. I had the lead because I had the lead in that holding deal from Disney. You know, so all these opportunities went away. You know, so I just said I'm going back to stand up. I'm going right back to stand up. And that's when I got the call from Keenan, my agent. This is show. You know, it's a variety show. And I was like, no, I don't want to deal with it. So my agent called me and said, just audition. What the hell are you going to lose? If you get it, you get it. You don't, you don't.
Right.
Like, all right. So I went in and did the sketch audition. And I don't think I did good at all. I don't think I did good at all. They just kind of looked at me funny, you know, and I was just walked out, you know. But they had a stand-up audition. 30 of the hottest comedians, you can name them. Go down the line. Mark Curry, DL, Cedric wasn't even in town yet. This was the early years. Jamie Lee, early years. 30. Guess who was number 30th?
You.
Right. So as the night's going on, we was outside. You know, we never came inside. So my manager come back and say, you can't do this in your act because that comic did that.
Damn.
Come out, you can't do that because he did your this. You can't do that because he did, the other one did your this. You see what I'm saying? Because they were like, you know. And so I wasn't worried about nothing. I wasn't worried about nothing. The way Brady throw that thing, and the way Jordan slam that thing, and the way Ollie throw that jab, the way Bruce Lee does his thing, that's how I do this.
Straight up.
I wasn't even phased. This is my department. So Tommy Davidson, I go on, crush, standing ovation. Keenan comes outside. I ain't told nobody yet, but you got the show.
Amazing.
Yep, you got
Where
the
do
show.
you think you got your confidence from at that young of an age? Where did that come from in that early in stand-up? Because how many years had you been doing stand-up at that point? Like 5?
Three.
Only 3 years doing stand-up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's on Eddie Murphy level. That's
Yeah.
I mean, because he was somebody. There's only a few comedians who find their voice that early.
Oh, and he's bad. Eddie is still the funniest ever.
Everyone say that. Every comedian say that.
You
they
know,
say he's still the
that
funniest.
dude right there, man. But the confidence really was something that was really unconscious, because for the first time, I had something that I could do. It was more of a natural thing than it was something I had to think about. Then when I mixed technique with that, over.
Game changer.
Well, my manager was very disciplined. You know, every day working on the stuff, every day list of stuff, every day working on stuff, every day. Then at night we stay out all night, club. You know, 7 nights a week, and get up and go to the deli and work. After that, go out to the clubs again. So the confidence came from a combination of the gift that was natural, that Howard turned me on to, and the work that I put in. So and circumstances. You know, I'm a comedian and an actor, and a musician and a singer by trade. Those are jobs.
Right.
See? But my job was in kitchens. I had a trade, you see? So I was hungry too to pay my rent like everybody else. And these were opportunities for me. So when the opportunity came, it wasn't like I was shy. It was just like at the Ramada Inn, white boy come in, he's firing everybody, and I was next. You know, and I'm out there cleaning the freezer, you know, and he come to me, you know. Yeah, it started up with me because I watched him do it to everybody else, right? And so he's like, yeah, so what are you doing out there? And blah, 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 blah. I said, fuck you, fat boy. Brush me in your face, white motherfucker. Okay? You're going to be out of here. I said, you're going to do that anyway, but you better not come near me. Stay right there, fat ass. And so that came from my mother.
Right. The funny thing about it is how naturally funny you are because I know.
Yeah, I'm over here dying.
I know how serious you're meaning to be right now.
Right.
But the way you say fat ass, I mean, it's just
Yeah.
naturally funny in the delivery.
I meant it, because because just as a person, in my own life journey, I had to become what I am because I had to fight the black people and the white people. The black girls decided they're gonna whip my sister ass for no reason, so I'm fighting for them, and then I gotta fight their brothers. You see, so it's like that coupled with just growing up in Washington, and in general, and in a neighborhood where everything was competitive, basketball, football, fighting, all of that. So it's in me, you see? So that's where that came from. So you match that with the stand-up, you match that with the technique, you match that with my circumstances. I did not see the opportunities in money. I've just realized that now, because
explain that.
Well, I didn't know how much you could make. I loved it so much. I loved it so much. But one of the things, you live and you learn. One of the things that I overlooked was the fact that it's a business. So I look up and, people are making so much more than me, and you know what I'm saying? And
Trust me, I know exactly what you're saying.
I had to put that together. But who said this to me? It was the best compliment. They said, I think it was Mike Epps. He said, you cool with what you got and you ain't mad at nobody.
Straight up.
Straight up. You always been cool with what you got and you ain't mad at nobody neither.
Because that's a problem in the comedy community, man. So much resentment, and you people hating that this person got that movie and that person got that TV show, and to be thankful for what you do have and what you have accomplished. It keeps peace in your mind, I feel like.
It ain't a team sport. Boxing or like tennis.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. What is it true? I've always heard this, that Keenan is tough to work with. He's tough in the sense of when it comes to the comedy component.
He bad.
Right.
He bad dude. It's like being with Belichick.
Got you.
Or being with Phil Jackson.
Got you.
He gonna show you. He gonna call a play. He bad. He is bad. He's not the performer like us.
Right.
He's a mastermind. He can take something and tweak it a little bit for you. I'll give you an example. I was doing the black and white video for Michael Jackson, right?
Yeah, absolutely. In living colors.
By the time I was 10, I wrote a love song for a rat named Ben. I played with little animals, and you know what I'm saying? White, right? So my black or white, you tell me, we don't know. So we're doing this whole thing, and he's watching the rehearsal, because you got to present it to him before it goes on TV. And he goes, okay. So come here. So you go, hopscotch right here. Okay. When you get here, let the fan blow you over.
And I remember all those moments.
When you get in the car, when you go to bust it with your hand, do the scream. He's that.
Genius.
So just that. And my natural ability with what he has to offer to it. And like he was more like Professor Xavier.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was more like was it Morpheus?
Morpheus in the Matrix.
Yeah, he was more like that. So you can be the one, but he'll call it.
What was your personal favorite sketch that you did on the show?
Probably Sweet Tooth Jones,
Okay.
the karate dude with the afro.
Well, now that was gonna get me to Martin, because I want to get into I would be crazy to not get into your Martin episode, which is, and I'm not saying this, I'm not classic, I'm not saying it's the pander. My favorite episode of Martin, period. There's nothing funnier than those fucking 2 episodes of
Whoa, there he is. There he is.
You whatever you did, it was incredible.
That's my melody. The Varnell man can't did you miss me?
Man, one of the most classic characters in TV history. But before I get to that, was there any part of you when Martin was doing Martin, seeing him doing karate, that you felt like he got a piece of that from watching you?
You know what? I never really thought about that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Never really thought about that kind of stuff because we were on our different trajectories. So he's on his show, Martin. I'm over here doing this in Living Color. So, it's common characters.
Right.
2 different approaches.
Okay. That was an internal thought I always had, because I remember you had that character like, yeah.
Right, protecting your body, sugar bear, lottie dottie. Step to the right, step to the left, like his eye.
Yeah. So that was just me as a kid. Like I wonder if they.
Right.
Right. So
both of them, they're both totally different.
Oh, absolutely. So how did that come about? The Varnell Hill episode, did somebody hit you up about it? Did you have to audition? What how did that come about, and how did you create that character?
One of the writers who used to write for us went over to run Martin's show. So became the executive producer of Martin. So when that episode came up, naturally he called me and said, "Yo, I got something for you over here. It's like an Arsenio character, but you can put what you want on it." And so when I came in, it was Bentley Evans, who's a very accomplished producer and
showrunner.
John Bowman. So they're running the show. So I come over to the rehearsal and I kill it. And they said, "Man, we'll see you on Monday." So when I got there, it's been years since me and Martin have been in the business, you know what I mean, by now. Not that long. I guess about 4 years. And so, but his show's on now, and he was kind of like somebody I wasn't familiar with no more, because he was yelling about this, that, and the other thing. And then, you don't know how it is, Tom. He's hard around here, whatever. And I don't, because he's in the position he is. And I'm on a cast. You see,
right.
He is the person on there. But still, I was like, dude, when you start, that scene in Bamboozled is real. Because I took that from the conversation me and Martin had. I was like, when you start talking to people like that, that's real from how we did. He's like, you don't understand how it is around here. I said, I did TV too. Yeah, but not on this level. I was like, all right. So you do Martin, and I'm going to do Tommy. We'll see. So when we did the scene, I flipped everything. There was not a word that came out of my mouth that was on the script.
Ooh, so I was going to ask you that if that was improv.
It wasn't a word that came out the script. He just kept going, because Martin, man, we love each other, man. It's like a challenge, man. And so he's throwing it out there. And I'm, bam, taking it with 2, bam, you know what I mean? Taking it with 1, bam, he bounced past, whop, 3 all net.
So the catfish lake, that was all off.
The catfish, the catfish delicious. So he said, "Oh, you got a pool?" And I said, "No, I got a lake." Whatever he said, you know what I mean? "Oh, so you don't drive?" "No, I got a Mercedes limo." You like tater chips? "No, actually, I got a potato farm." And so he couldn't keep a straight face because
he couldn't.
killing it.
Which is part of what makes that episode, and particularly that scene, so hilarious, is seeing that he couldn't keep it together because that's how funny you were.
Thank you.
Was there any part when you was doing that episode thinking, I'm being too funny?
No, there ain't no such thing.
Straight up.
There ain't no such thing. I knew that when that little red light comes on that camera, move out the way. Just like, when they flip that coin in the football game, or they do that jump ball, just move out the way. He's here.
Now this is another childhood question. When the second episode, when he grabs you and he starts,
and he got me on the desk, bam, bam.
What's that? What? That's how brilliant the first episode was, that people forget about that second one when he did it. Now, was that improv? And or did you feel like he was doing that to be like, yo, this is my show? this nigga is doing too much. He's too funny.
I think it was a combination of both, actually. Because the anxiety, I guess, had built up in him so much because I was freaking it. You know what I mean? But he was in character, and he's brilliant, though. See, Martin's good.
Oh yeah, he's one of the greats.
Martin's good.
As are you.
Thank you. And he knew we're craftsmen. So we knew where we were in the script. We knew what was coming, and I played it. So it's just like with Jamie and the Ugly Woman. I learned what it is. I learned the code. Then once I know the code, watch out. Bam, down the middle.
Man, did you know when you was doing that episode, it was going to go off to be like one of the most famous episodes in the history of television? Because that's what it is.
Yes. Absolutely. I remember one time me and Denzel, I'm dropping names. Okay?
Hey, drop them names. I don't got no Denzel stories, and if I did, I say it.
I knew him from way back, and so we had a barbecue playing basketball, and it's getting intense, right? And game point, I'm with the ball. Boom. He said, watch that shit go in. Whap. I said, I meant for that to go in. What you talking about? You see what I'm saying? That's the attitude that I bring to what I do. So watch that go in. I said, well, of course, I meant that. Meant for it to go in.
Straight up.
Game.
Because, incredible ability that you have is you scene steal everything that you're in. Joanna Man, scene steal. Really? Martin, scene steal. Black Dynamite, scene steal.
Not on purpose.
What'd you say? Not on purpose?
Yeah. Not on purpose.
But, it's a natural. I would say, I would almost challenge that thought because of what you just said about you meant for it to go in.
Yeah. But with acting, it's two people. So it's different. It's two people. So they got their part and I got my part. So what happens with me is that I'm fast. So if you bring something to me right then and there within a second, I can download fast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm quick. So I can give you 7 different reactions to something. I can give you 100 different ways to say it. So you're here, I'm here, and it's just like, bring it. Because I can, I'm like a DJ, break it, boom, back, boom, break it, bam, boom. You know what I mean? It's like I got the crates.
So you mentioned, because that was something else that I read that I know you mentioned in your book, Living in Color, was Jamie Foxx. Mm-hmm. And you got upset or something because he was actually trying to pull off your drawers.
Ooh, in front of everybody.
In front of so talk about that because
it wasn't for the fact that they were Speedos and nylon, he'd have tore them right off, you know. And I was a little bit heated because he tried that, you know what I mean. But I did realize I even had foresight back then as a person. I realized, oh, this is gonna make classic TV. So I ain't gonna trip on that. You know what I mean?
And anybody that don't know what we're talking about, we're talking about the episode of In Living Color when Jamie Foxx is playing Wanda and Tommy is getting a massage, right? You was getting a massage. And then Jamie started chasing him around.
From a Chinese donkey.
Right.
Massage Chinese donkey. Go ahead.
Right, bro. Right. Straight up.
There ain't no Chinese donkey right there.
So after that happened though, what was that conversation? Did you have a conversation with Jamie after that moment? Like, yo, that's not cool. Or did you just kind of brush it off and y'all was straight after that?
Yeah, I didn't think about it past that point.
Okay.
I just knew that he tried that. So, you know, I was like, damn, you know. So for the sake of comedy, you know what I mean? Let me go ahead about my business because it worked. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't think it's something that I would do, but you know, everybody different. Like my grandfather said, if everybody was the same, everybody be chasing after their grandma.
Damn. Those wise words.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Those are wise words. Old people always say some wise shit. You're like, yeah, that make a lot of sense. You know, the sky is blue because it makes you happy. You're like, oh, okay.
Right. Yeah, it is blue.
Yeah.
You know?
What? So let's talk. I want to talk about Booty Call. Because that's a classic.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah,
victory. Yeah.
Victory, man. How did that come about? Booty Call, and I want to know too, when it comes to something like that, was Jamie attached first? Was you attached first? And how was that even brought to your attention, that movie?
Jamie was attached first. You know, that movie actually was Bill Bellamy and Jamie's movie.
Oh shit.
That I know of because when I came in to audition for it, they told me, you know, catch the bus. You know, they told me, you know, hit the road, Jack. You know, so I was like, okay, cool. I thought that was a good combination with me and Jamie. But whatever happened with Bill, he ended up not doing the role. They called me. I was like, you got the part. I was like, ooh, we gonna freak it. We gonna freak it. And that's how it went down.
Man, that movie is a classic film, man. I mean, when you wrapped up in the saran wrap.
Oh, it's over, gag after gag.
A part of me was concerned when I'm watching this scene.
Good.
Because I'm like, I don't think he can actually breathe.
We were in danger. Okay? But that's how committed we are. Both of us couldn't breathe on both occasions. So when you pop, you know, but that's how we are. That's the difference between us and Saturday Night Live or whatever. You know, we will do it.
Straight up.
Will make it happen. We will make it happen, man.
How was it working with Bernie Mac? Anybody that I have on that's worked with Bernie Mac, I gotta ask, you know what, because he, for me, is one of the funniest people that ever lived. So I always gotta ask a Bernie Mac story. How was it, you know, working with him? I
loved him. Bernie Mac is like my boy. Now, the first time we got to work together was on Booty Call.
Right, he played the pastor, the preacher.
They very kind of scene because he couldn't make the lines work. So the director comes and says, "I don't think we're going to use this for the movie, man. I said, "No, hold on. Let me have him for a minute." You know, so I took him to my trailer, took the script. How would you say that? Bam, 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 bam. How would you say this? Bam, bam, bam. How would you say that? Bam, bam, bam. Wrote it out. Then said, okay, let's practice that. Bam, did it, scene, gone, killed it. Killed it.
He's another scene stiller.
Put it in his language. And so sweet of a person that when I did guest stars on the show,
Bernie Mac show,
he You ain't got no lines. Don't even worry about rehearsal.
Just do you.
Just, yeah. So every time I come to do my part, he go, no. Just wait till the cameras come on for you.
That's amazing.
Waiting on me when I get there.
You saved his scenes. I mean, that convenience store scene in Booty Call is one of the classic moments. I mean, him coming in with the prostitute
and the thing about that is, you know, I couldn't let it go down that way. He's got to be in the movie. You know, ain't no director gonna tell me that. So hold on. Let me have him for a second. Wham, because I know what he could do. Plus, he's a sweetheart from Chi, you know? And something about them Chicago boys, you know, I love it.
Straight up. My best friend in college from Chicago.
Chi, else, man, he's Chi dude.
Now,
so
I'm sorry. This is something I didn't know. You did Strictly Business, which was your first starring role, right?
Yes.
In a movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming that was during the time of In Living Color.
Same time. Yeah.
So when you did your first special, was that before or during In Living Color?
I did 3 specials, like 7 movies, toured the country, while doing In Living Color.
Amazing.
Yeah, major commercials, big giant one with Scottie Pippen, which came out the World Series, Super Bowl commercial with Pizza Hut. You know, I did all that while doing the series.
And so this is something that I didn't know when I was doing my research, which is when you was doing Woo, I read that you was trying to switch up the ending, and you wanted to dance at the end because you didn't rehearse a kiss that you wanted to do with Jada Pinkett Smith, everybody, and you went in for a kiss. She reacted. But Will Smith just so happened to be on set. And Will didn't appreciate.
Right. But I didn't know what he was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. What happened? Because I didn't even know about that situation.
Well, what happened was the producers, you know, there was a kiss scene at the end. And the interesting thing is that I told her that the end of the movie wasn't working early months before that. And so the end of the movie, they scrapped it because it wasn't working. So she called me and she said, Tom, tell me about that ending that you was telling me about a couple months ago. I told her, she said, come down to New Line with the new director, write that out. I wrote it out. It's a new scene. So at the end, we're supposed to kiss because it's a romantic comedy. But the producers were like, we don't have time to rehearse it. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. You got to rehearse. It's very, you know, you kissing is an acting kiss. It's not a kiss.
Right.
And she's a woman. So you got to do what she's comfortable with. So I was like, man, I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it until we can rehearse it. So they put me in a little trick. She said it's all good. Just go for it.
Oh,
see,
man. Just to try to speed up.
Even then I was being careful with it. But it was his perception. Or maybe she said to him, hey, he was a little bit whatever. So I didn't really know when he came at me. I didn't know what he was talking about. He's like, yeah, I don't appreciate that, blah, blah, blah. You know, we need to talk.
And so he came in your trailer, right?
I was in his.
Oh, you was in his trailer?
We dated, hung out, you know, with friends. And so he was like, you know, appreciate that, whatever. And I was like, what? Like playing the innocent, you know? Because I knew where he was going, you know? From Washington. So finally I said, well, okay, well, let's go talk about it. But you didn't have enough room here. And that's what Jada was like, no. I said, you want to talk about it?
So there was like so that was true. Like there could have been like a physical altercation, but you know, y'all was able to resolve that.
Yeah. And this is all over a miscommunication, and I didn't even know until I wrote my book. I went all those years not even knowing what really happened. So when I put it in my book, you know, nothing in here goes in here unless I get the approval of someone else.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So I sent them the page with, you know, before it was a book, of course, and said, what do you think of that? They said, go ahead and put it in there. That's the only indication I had that that's what happened, because I didn't know all those years why he did that.
Wow. Well, at
But
least
I had a suspicion though. But me and him are cool.
Right.
We were cool then. We was cool back then. It was just one of them things that maybe if I was on the other side, maybe I'd have reacted like that too. You know.
Well, Jada talk about Will could get hood. I've heard her say that in a few interviews.
He from Philly.
Right. Hey, a couple more questions. I'm gonna let you go, bro. I appreciate your time, man.
Come on, man. This is beautiful.
Oh, well, good, man. Because you know what I really be trying to do is ask the questions that I feel like people have always wanted to know and really go deep.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, the problem with some of these interviews, like, it's just so surface level. But you know, the nooks and crannies. You know, I be trying to get it in the nooks. You know.
Why not, man?
So, okay, here's one. When it comes to Joanna Man. Okay. Right?
How about that? You bringing it today.
That's what I'm going for. How did that yo, so funny. Got you crazy.
Okay, 3 myself. Strike me then.
Yeah.
I had a filet mignon.
Yeah, filet mignon. How do you like it? You know, that whole experience came out of the director and the producers wanted something funny in the movie. So they showed me the character and said, do what you want to do with it. Whatever you want to do, do it. We need something funny up in here. So I threw them gold teeth up in there, you know, and Puff Smokey Smoke was born. And then he couldn't say a wrong word. Even down to the end of the movie. He couldn't say a wrong word. I guess I'm a man, but I'm a woman. I don't know what's happening, you know.
How did you even come up with that though? Like, was it on the paper?
Why do I genuinely look like a cobra in that picture?
Right. Right.
Don't look like a cobra. No, it was just one of those things where opportunity, you know, met preparation again.
Right.
You know, I'm ready for it. You know, and my man Genuine was in the movie.
Yeah.
The movie who I worked with before.
Kim Wayans
was in the movie. So I'm in my element. So that character fit right into what I just weaved through that thing like it was nothing. As a matter of fact, after the premiere, Keenan walked up to me and said, man, you really freaked that thing, boy.
That's high praise coming from him.
Thank you, yeah. He's my dude.
How do you feel now? Because this always, I'm gonna get your opinion first, and then I'll say because I don't want to sway you. But men wearing dresses, right?
Mm-hmm. What's
your thoughts on that in general? Black men wearing dresses on TV and in films.
You know, if the role was right, you know, I don't know if I'd do it. I wouldn't. You know what I mean? I never had to. You know, I've auditioned for something with a dress.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
What project was that? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was Penelope. Forgot her last name. The Spanish chick.
Cruz. Penelope Cruz.
Yeah, it was a big movie.
Okay.
And her the opposite person from her playing across was like a dude, but he was just transformed.
Gotcha. Transformed. Transgender.
Like whatever they call it.
Right. Right.
So I went in with full makeup and the whole 9 yards and didn't get the part. You know what I mean?
That's kind of the worst, actually.
I'm going home in makeup, you know. Yeah, you know, you know, with the dress on and everything.
Now
Like,
I gotta
damn,
beat I gotta beat
yeah,
somebody's ass
that
now.
ain't, yeah, that ain't go too well. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm in my car getting the wrong attention. You know, I'm he was looking at me like, you know, hey, I'm like, whoa, this feels funny. You know
And
what
where
I
did you
mean?
get the dress from?
I don't even remember. I think I got it from Chickendales, skinny as I am. But but I was banging though.
Right? I'm sure you made a
But
beautiful woman.
yeah. But the thing about it is, you know, if the role calls for it and you want to freak it like that, then cool. But it's not something I ideally would want to do
Right.
unless it's something that really fits in with me as a person, the role itself and what it conveys, the message that it conveys or whatever. You
Yeah.
know, for instance, you know, at a point, the black grandmother thing, at a point, for me, it has to be the line between that and comedy because she's the best thing we have. So enough already.
Right.
She's the best thing we have. She holds us down spiritually. She pushed shit out of a pig's intestine so that we can grow up big and strong.
Right.
You see, so that's me personally.
Well, hold on. When you say she, you talking about black women or
Your great grandmother and mine.
Gotcha.
There
Absolutely.
are a survival. They gave her trash. She pushed that shit out that damn intestine, made it flavorful so that we can grow up big and strong.
Right.
At a
Now,
point for me personally, and this is just subjective, my opinion.
right.
At a point, that becomes a little bit redundant. But it's in the comedy sense, it doesn't really, you know, do any damage or whatever, although it does to me. But like I said, like my grandfather said, you know, if everybody was the same, everybody be chasing after your grandmother.
Absolutely.
Like an understanding of who we are and my own understanding of who we are. See?
No, absolutely. I'm the same way. I'm like, does it make sense and is it funny? Because I'm being a comedian. You know,
Right.
if it's something funny,
yeah, and I ain't gonna say I never gonna do it and all
right.
that, but you know, it wouldn't be my choice,
Right.
unless it was something that really worked for me.
Yeah. Now I feel you on that. Let's talk to another scene stiller that you did.
Oh, wait.
This is Ace Ventura.
Nice.
Where
You're killing them today. You're killing them today, boy.
Hey man, Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. Man, when I tell you two comedy titans going back and forth, you and Jim Carrey in that scene.
Thing of beauty.
How did that come about, man? And how did that character come about? And just explain even just filming that scene.
Yeah, it was one of them things where when it comes down to the business, you know, that was the only movie that I didn't have to audition for.
Wow, that's crazy.
All those movies, you know, all those movies, black movies. It's the only one I didn't have to audition for. You know, and it was because that's my man.
Right.
You know, he knows what I does. You know, I does what I do. We do it well. And he wasn't tripping. He sent me through no hoops to try to get a part. You see? And ironically, he ended up being white. See? I haven't got that from us. That's just what I'm telling you.
No, and you know what? And I'm gonna stop you in the story right there real quick, because I always say that I go through more stuff with black casting directors than I do with the white casting directors. I feel like typically I jump through more hoops or something weird happens in the room More so. And that's just been my experience in LA. But anyways, but sometimes it's crazy. I do a whole joke about trying to get into a Kevin Hart party. And it came from reality. Trying to get into a Kevin Hart party.
Tell me.
Yeah, I tried to get into a Kevin Hart party. Security, black dude, kept stopping me. Man, I don't know nothing about you. But I don't know who the fuck you is, nigga. It ain't no Kevin Hart party. Motherfuckers, everybody going up to the Kevin Hart party. I'm on the guest list.
And you're going, why are you taking it so personal? Go ahead.
Exactly. A white guy comes out. Oh, no, I know all about you. You're on the guest list. Right up. Come on. The white dude gets me, come right on in. He gets me into, yeah, so true shit. Bro, he gets me, come on, right this way. Right. Yes, Mr. Hires, here, right here.
I'm not falling for the banana tailpipe. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the black dude was the one that was giving me all the hassle, bro. And so it's amazing sometimes how it's your own people that kind of put them roadblocks in the way unnecessarily.
Right. Apparently. It seems like it's us. But it's slavery. So it's that trait that's left in us where we were separated so violently and forced to survive individual army style. You're in the ship, chained to somebody, they're shitting, vomiting, dying. On this side, the other one's dead. Blood, months. You're down there, put a little spoonful of oatmeal in your hand, and you.
Right.
Because.
In this mind.
Because your total survival depends on individual. So that division that was hard cut, that came from that period, is still manifesting us.
So true.
Yeah, it's not conscious really. If something happened for 400 years, you ain't kicking that habit for 20. It's just going to take some time.
Absolutely.
But if you realize it and you know that that's the root of it, you see what I'm saying? If you realize that's the root of it, then let the party begin. Yeah, like the 8-year party we had in the White House on the ass.
Right, straight up.
Trying to forget.
They still find it Popeye's chicken sandwiches. They're like, God damn it.
They're trying to make us forget. That's all.
The way they always. So, okay, now back to Jim Carrey, Ace Ventura. How was it, the actual filming of that scene? What was the process?
Oh, amazing, because we had worked together on In Living Color, so it was easy. You know, we went in and talked about it. Then that morning, him and Steve Odekirk, the director, who was the writer for In Living Color.
Wow.
They had a little bag. They said, can you fit in this bag? I don't know. We got an idea. They're like rubbing their hands together. I'm like, okay, let me try it. So I said, I can do this for about maybe 5 minutes without breaking my, ass out, from the inside. So they said, that's all we need. Because you need to get on the dude's thing and reveal yourself. And that's all I did. So it worked. So it was easy. But this is when I realized that Jim was becoming a huge star. Because I had to get on a plane to go to the next gig or whatever. And they had off camera, the last shot I had was I'm supposed to be burying him with dirt,
Right.
Off camera, they had all these guys with shovels, covering him up, right? It was going too slow. He said, Tommy, got to get out of here, you guys. So he goes, bulldozer. He ordered a bulldozer like he was ordering fries. Bulldozer comes over the hill, or I'm like, damn, dude is blowing up. Gets up, wipes the dirt off, man, have a good one, man. Thanks for doing this. Bam. Bulldozer. Bulldozer.
Where the hell did they get a bulldozer from?
Over the hill. I don't even know. That's what I'm saying.
That was before
a bulldozer. Right. When do you order a bulldozer? Hey, excuse me, bulldozer, please. I'm like, this dude is blowing up.
Did you know while filming In Living Color, his career was gonna have that trajectory, or
Yeah,
that you did?
yeah, it was part of all of our territory, really. So, he worked so hard. I was the one that could hang with him. See, a lot of people on the show didn't really wanna do scenes with him because he would sometimes take hours, but he was detailed. And I'm your dude. So it's like, if you really look at some of the sketches like Fire Marshal Bill and all those, you'll see me.
Right.
Me with him. Because I'm watching him and his moves, and me and him got the same mind. See?
You do. That's why I was so excited. Of course, when you going into watching a movie like that, I didn't know you was going to be in the movie. So, I remember watching at the movie theaters, and I'm like, there go Tommy Davidson, and then, and like you said, to be able to go toe to toe, people at y'all high of level of comedy, to be able to go back and forth. I mean, it's just so rare that you get to see that, for whatever reason. When it comes to movies and films like that, to be able to see two people
exactly
going back and forth, just like you and Martin. You see what I'm saying? Like two in that, man, it's just something special. And I'm sure you're aware of it, but for an audience member to be able to experience that and witness that, it brings so much joy, and it brings so much pleasure to the audience to see people that you have fallen in love with because of their talent doing work like that. Absolutely. Who do you feel like was the funniest cast member on In Living Color besides you?
Jim.
Yeah.
They all were funny in their own way. Jamie,
right.
Off the hook, man. David, I couldn't really isolate one or the other, because it's like, that's like choose your favorite child.
Right. Right.
Hey, which one of your favorite? You know what I mean? It's they all were funny in their own different way. The funny meter was up here, not here. The bar was up here, all above the bar, above the rim, So they were all funny in their different ways. Like David was funny on the page. David could pull something off the page, read it, turn it into something funny. Jim could take an idea and physicalize it and express it in that way. Jamie was just kind of a gut, funny country dude. You know what I mean? Really, you know what I mean? So everybody had their own synthesis that led to the funny.
Have you been watching Jim Carrey on Saturday Night Live?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you've been playing Joe Biden.
Killed it.
Killed it.
Killed it.
I think it's important, anytime you show up in something and somebody like a Jim Carrey show up, it's always good to remind. I don't think anyone forgets, but I'd be happy to when y'all do something, because it reminds people how funny you are. Like, because I want to get, because Black Dynamite.
Nice. Boy, you bringing it today. Oh, Lord. You bring it.
Hey, Black Dynamite, I feel, is probably for the ones that know, they know. For the ones that know, they know. Pull up the other one with the curls in his hair.
Are you talking about cream corn?
Cream corn, right?
Cream corn. I'm running things. Bitch, do you see us?
For the ones that know,
switch fried,
Hey, but for the ones that know, they know it is without question one of the funniest movies ever.
Yeah. Get to it. There you
ever.
Go. Get to it. Yeah, it's really good.
For anyone that don't know, I'm gonna recommend it, because I'm sure there's a large amount of people that may not know of this movie.
Or the cartoon.
Huh?
Or the cartoon.
Or the cartoon.
Cartoon is dope.
Cartoon incredible. I actually know one of the producers. Damn, I can't think of his name right now. God damn, I can't think. Carl, right? Carlton? Carl? Yeah. Carl Jones, absolutely. I need to have him more, matter of fact.
It's bad. I'm running things.
So how did this come about, man? And I'm surprised. Now, did you have to audition for this too, or was this an offer?
No, you know what? I'm wrong because I didn't have to audition for this too.
Okay.
So,
I was about to say, if they made you audition for this, I'm like, come on now, they should know.
Those are the two. Those are the two. Well, Michael is a good friend. Michael had gone to meet to New York. I took a whole cast with me to do my movie from the In Living Color, the Sweet Tooth Jones movie.
Right.
So he went with me to New York, along with Elise Neal, Carmen Electra, Kid from Kid and Play, Godfrey, and I flew them all in Tower Air to try to get this movie done. And so they passed on the movie and went and did Scary Movie instead.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Carmen Electra with them too. So that was the genesis of that. So me and Mike became really good friends. So when Mike was constructing a movie, he called me and said, "Man, you want to do this?" I said, "Yeah, man. Are you kidding me?" So he shot it first on this cheap little camera. We were just running and doing.
And when you say Mike, you talk about Michael Jai White.
White, yeah. I'm
Gotcha.
sorry.
No, that's all good.
Shooting on his own camera. I remember there was like a little length between the roof. It was like 10 floors down. And I said, "I can make it, Mike." He said, "It's not that serious, Tom." So
Black Tom Cruise, you are. He's like, I do my own stunts.
he said, "Nah, but I can do it though. I can do it." He said, "It's not that serious, bro." You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't risk your life. We can't lose Tommy Davidson.
That's how crazy it is when it comes to doing this. I can make that, man, easily, man. Michael, go ahead, call the shot. He says, "It's not that serious, man." You know?
That's hilarious. I'll tell you a fun fact. My daughter's name is Jai because of Michael Jai White's middle name. I always thought that was a cool name. So that's my daughter's middle name.
How many kids?
Just one. Just one.
To you, man.
How many? You have two?
I have 6.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
You've been putting in work for years.
Beautiful. Beautiful human beings, boy.
That's a blessing, man.
Yeah, beautiful human beings.
I always say my daughter is my greatest accomplishment.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm my mom's, you know, and my kids are mine. Yeah.
Wow.
And I always had a lot of kids. It's funny how, you know, if a black male wants a lot of kids, it's looked at as, you know, something negative.
Mm-hmm.
But they got the Brady Bunch, the Partridge Family, and they wasn't even married. You know, they was mixed, you know.
Right.
And you know, Swiss Family Robinson, Osmonds.
John and Kate plus 8.
Yeah, 8 is enough. 8 is enough, you know. But that's because this is all subjective, my opinion. That's because, you know, we're looked at as subconsciously not responsible.
Mm.
See,
these are facts. You ain't saying nothing that's not true.
You can have half the people, black people, African Americans that from the South had a very responsible dad and mom, and was, you know, 11 kids. That just meant there was a whole lot of stuff going on in the bedroom, and it was good.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of love.
Yeah, a lot of love. That's what we go.
A lot of begatting. A lot of begatting.
Well, Black Dynamite. I'm trying to think if we finished that. Well, did you know? Well, I'm sure you did know when you were making it. What was the process when it came? I don't know if you even know the answer to this. When it came to from it being, because it was a short first. Was it a short? Then it became.
Sold it. He sold it to the film company. Then wrote the script.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. So we shot that movie during the Christmas holiday. I think we shot that movie in like 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, y'all Tyler Perry that.
Busted it down. We busted it down and got it done too. Pump fake. Bam. You know.
Yo, I encourage everyone. When you talk about, like when people talk about a classic, it needs to be in the discussion, because it is a classic, in my opinion. The same way you would look at a Friday as a classic.
It is.
In any of those type of movies.
Of course it is.
House Party is a classic.
Yeah.
Black Dynamite is a new classic.
Like just as much as Groundhog Day.
No, absolutely.
Hey, I had one too.
Yeah, what you got?
But by the end of it, I want to hear a little bit about his book, man. That's all.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Well, I met you before.
Who, me or Lee?
Lee.
Yeah, man, I was famous, but then the movie theaters, they just didn't know it. I got $1 million in the bank, but the bank don't know it yet. You know what I'm saying? So I'm working on it.
Hey, well, he's been posting these TikTok videos.
Ooh, he's killing it, huh?
Yeah,
Killing it.
he coming up on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be his assistant real soon.
They call me Gray Sweatpant Lee now.
Hey, he been wearing these sweatpants that show his dick print, and these girls have gone crazy. They have lost their fucking mind. He literally, I'm not bullshitting. He went from 200 followers to where you at, by 15,000?
Yeah, I'm at like 14.5 right now.
I gotta keep that. Damn, wow.
I'm pulling my dick out. I'm pulling my dick out on TikTok immediately. I mean, when we wrap up this conversation, Tommy.
That's called TikTok.
Yeah. Hey, I can't wait to pull my dick out on TikTok. I'm looking forward to it. Two.
Wow.
One is the Proud Family. The Proud Family, the animated show that you did for Disney.
You go there, you go again, boy. You bring it.
Yeah, because I don't know if people realize the importance to have an African-American family, animated family on Disney Channel at that time, what it meant to the culture. Just speak on you being a part of that project.
Just fortunate, man. A lot of gratitude, because that came about from a producer that called me and said, "We want you for us to Proud." Hey, where you at? Shoot him up. You know, they just showed me the picture. You know, hold on. They just showed me the picture and asked me what it sounded like. You know what I'm saying? So It sounded like that. No, hey, look here. Penny, I'm gonna tell you one thing. If you're gonna do it, mama! You know, so that's how that came about. I mean, simple and plain. That's how that came about. That's exactly how that came about. And I went in there into the booth, and they said, "How does he sound?" And I showed them, and they said, "Good, we good." And what, 15 years later? And we got it new now.
I'm about to say you're doing a new one, right?
We got new episodes coming out on Disney Plus.
Now, is Keke Palmer doing the voice of
Yeah, for sure.
Why did I feel like was it not a different actress? Kyla Pratt. Was Kyla Pratt the original?
Yeah, Kyla Pratt. Yeah, Kyla Pratt's still on it.
Oh, she is still on it.
Yeah, they just added her.
Oh, got you. I didn't know Keke took Kyla Pratt's.
No. She's a new character on there.
That's great. That's great.
Great actress, man.
It's so funny. I'm working on developing a project that I'm taking to CBS. Basically what my show would be, you know. And Kyla Pratt and Keke Palmer were the two women that I selected.
Okay.
Who I would want to play my wife on the show.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
cool.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Huh?
No, go for that.
Go for that. Yeah.
Why we came here. That's why we doing what we're doing. We're doing what we're doing because we want to do it.
Absolutely.
And there ain't no way that I'm looking at it any other way. When they want to do something, like corner the cotton market, they'll do anything. You know, when they want sugar, they'll do anything to get that sugar.
Right.
Land, they'll do anything to get that land. You know, I'm not into sugar and the cotton and the land. Just let me do what I do.
Absolutely. No, I receive all of that, and yeah, I'm gonna get it done. I was literally talking to my management company, like they were saying, well, who would you want to play your wife? And I was like, either Kyla Pratt or Keke Palmer.
Keep it there.
Yeah.
It might be just as you know, both of them are bad. Both of them are badass actresses.
Absolutely. What do you feel like is the biggest thing? This is the last time I'm gonna ask you this, and talk about your book, because I want people to pick it up. Okay. I definitely gave it a shout out when you first put it out. You probably, I don't know if you noticed, I'm sure your wife knows. But when
Chroma Key, yeah.
Yeah. you know, I made sure I always try to make sure to promote people's products, because I feel like we have to. Well, you don't have to do anything, but I feel like it's important for me to try to help showcase and uplift people that I admire, and people that I see are on their grind and just trying to instill knowledge and uplift the community, and because I feel like your story, even from this conversation, there's going to be so many people that want to get into acting, want to get into comedy and stand up, who are going to take so many. Like, I'm gonna tell you something that you said earlier, which was how much work ethic went into your stand up comedy. People think everything there, you were born with a natural ability. But
true.
it was your work ethic that you and your manager put into the craft, why you were able to leapfrog and go to the heights that you're at.
It's true.
You know, and so people being able to hear an episode like this and take away those gems like that, I think is very important. So, but what I want to know, what's the biggest lesson that you feel like you've learned so far being in Hollywood?
That the most important thing to me is to just fulfill my destiny on my journey in this life. You know, I choose to go for happy for people. So my purpose is to instill happiness in others and to be useful to others. And this vehicle has enabled me to do that on a global scale, whereas my mother put that in me. So the community was hers. And like I said in the book, I'm her greatest accomplishment because I took what she taught me and then took that out to the world. So she did it in our community, changed our apartments, the projects that we lived in. She turned those into where you can buy your own. She organized the neighborhood where the police couldn't come unless they were called. You know, she was just she passed a law through a housing law that a city could not receive funds for housing from the government unless they confirmed it with all the smaller community groups.
Wow.
So I took what she put in me, and now I'm doing what she did on a larger scale. And that's important to me. You know, that's important to me because if it's one thing that's missing, is that.
Absolutely.
Especially with us.
What made you write the book, and where can they get it? Where can they get it from?
My sister asked me. She triggered it for me. She said, "Why don't you ever talk about mom?" You know, and I realized the reason why I haven't in interviews and stuff like that because I was ashamed. Because anytime my mother shows up on the scene, all the black people, you know, you ain't really black or whatever. And then when I'm with them, it's like, you know, tension. So if she's not around, I ain't got to answer no questions. You see?
Right.
So that's what made me say, you know what? That was years ago. I ain't no shame in the game. So what I learned on my journey, I took all of those experiences and just put them in something that people may be able to apply to their journey. This is like a index. So if you had a problem with all the problems are common in a relationship, you know, your own personal demons or whatever. If you come into a battle with another person or society at large, you know, you just trying to find your happiness in this crazy place, you know, I put my trajectory in here so that if there's similar experiences that you have, you can see that you can get past them. What's the proof?
Hey, man, and we gonna end it on that, man. Tommy Davidson, Urban Legendz podcast again. I want to let you know I created this to celebrate people that I consider living legends and people making legendary moves. You continue to do your thing, man. You are a king. And I want you to know you just continue to wear your crown held high, brother, and keep doing you, man.
Thank you, man. And y'all doing a great job too. So it'll come up again. Let's do it again.
Hey, my man. That's what I like to hear. Shout out to that.
All right.
All right. Thank you for your time, man. Peace.
Thank y'all, man. Thank you, brother. Have a good one.
How you do the same?
Where your boy at?
Yeah, Lee, get on here real quick. Say bye.
Yo, man. It's been a pleasure, man. I know I'm the silent partner, but dude, hey, man.
Hey, we all in this to win this, man. We all one gang, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
One.
Peace.
All right.
Take care.